Is this sad and regretful? Of course it is, for the families of the deceased on both sides. The PSA regional airplane, by the way, this was a PSA regional aircraft operated on behalf of American Airlines, but the flight crew were not part of the American Airlines pilots itself. Zero training from American Airlines. Yes, it had an American Airlines flight number. Every major airline in the U.S., not every, but majority have regional airlines feeding them in the smaller cities around the United States. That works very successfully. In any event, this mid-air collision here between the PSA aircraft, the CRJ-700 and the Army Black Hawk helicopter is very regretful, and we're going to learn from it. And I have some information to talk to you about that. But it is, as you know, very, very early, but some evidence is already starting to show up right now.
Captain Levy, how do you view the U.S. commercial airspace these days in terms of air traffic controllers, technology deployed? Is this airspace overcrowded? Is it well kind of managed, do you believe?
Very well managed, extremely well managed. I've flown the world, not every single airport, of course, but the majority of the major ones in Europe, Russia, China, of course, all over the United States and Asia. And the airports in the United States, whether it's JFK, whether it's DFW, you mentioned Chicago O'Hare, I was based there 35 years, magnificently managed and run. But it's a two-way process there. You have the air traffic controllers on the radar as you approach or depart the airport, and then what we call the local controllers, the control tower people, and they're often working with good weather like it was last night at just before 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's a see and be seen. And so we can talk about that, but the PSA was brought into the airport normally, safely, correctly. We're going to be focusing on this Army helicopter, which we can talk about.
One of the changes here is, for example, Reagan going from 15 million passengers to 25 million passengers. In London, the talk of a congested one-runway Gatwick. I hear that Munich is terribly congested. I'm sure, Captain Richard Levy, you know many other airports just as congested. Are we pushing, in terms of not in my backyard, not building airports, are we pushing the envelope on crowded in modern commercial aviation?
In my opinion, not a bit. By the way, speaking of Munich, I made the first landing at the new Munich airport in the 90s from the United States. Great airport over there, great air traffic controllers, and all over Germany. But back to the U.S., to answer your question, we're not pressing the envelope, as we say in aviation, whatsoever, because as every one of us know, if we're approaching an airport and there's a big event, a football event, a baseball event, a rock star is there, there's going to be a lot of extra traffic. So what they do is one of two things. Either we go into a holding pattern, or to be more energy efficient, they hold you, there's a ground stop. You don't take off to go to the destination. Say weather has gone through Chicago. I told you I lived up there. A big snowstorm is covered the airport, is cleared out, the runways are clear, they're going to space the airplanes 10 to 20 miles apart. But back to last night, we had the PSA CRJ-700 on an approach to runway 01, and then they were asked, could they swing over, could they alter their approach and make a visual approach to runway 33. Nothing unsafe about that, has nothing to do with traffic congestion whatsoever.